Good morning.
What's your question today?
Okay, my husband's turning 65 next week. He still works, and he gets insurance through his work. Does he still have to apply for Medicare?
How many employees does the company that your husband works for have?
Are
there over 25?
Over 25, yeah.
Oh, then no, he does not have to apply for Medicare. In fact, in most cases, we recommend that he does not because he is already covered by a plan that's considered as good or better than Medicare, so he can bypass his initial election period. And when he decides to retire and leaves the group health insurance, he'll have a special election into Medicare. He won't have any penalties for enrolling when he leaves, and he'll have the same choices that he would have when he turns 65.
Great. There's a lot of conflicting information out there, and it was hard to pin that down. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
You're very welcome. And I was going to say that it may, as you were saying, Erin, when he does decide he's going to retire, leave the company plan, he probably should start the process about 2 months early. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. I think it also just depends upon your HR department. We've had individuals come in that work in the HR department or that can walk down the hall and they know someone in the HR department, because the way the process will work is, as opposed to applying online for your Medicare benefits, which most people are able to do when they turn 65 if they're going to be using their initial election period because they don't have access to group health insurance. Individuals that are using a special election need to apply by paper, and there is a Medicare Part B enrollment application, but then there's also a piece of it that requests employer information, and all that is just says, that, for example, Dina's husband has been employed and covered under the group health insurance plan from the day he turned 65 until the day his coverage terminated because he left the group, and the employer signs off on that, someone in the HR department. You take both of those applications to Social Security, and what that does is open up your special election into Medicare and tell Medicare not to impose any penalties upon you because you had coverage that was as good or better than Medicare. So if you have a really speedy HR department, you don't need as much lead time. But for many employees or for many individuals that are employed by corporations that aren't in St. Louis, they might actually have to send that somewhere. So you want to give yourself enough lead time based upon your knowledge of your HR department.
And Erin, I know that you keep a supply of these forms in our office because that's, you're helping folks all the time. But is this something that's accessible online, or how do
Absolutely.
You
can go to ssa.gov, or you can go to medicare.gov, and they will be able to supply you with those applications. They have
a downloadable?
They have a PDF form that you can use.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So nothing to fear on that side but fear itself, right?
Something nice quote, since FDR is the one that created Medicare. Very, very timely, Dad.
There you go. Well, guess what? We've got Joe on the line. Joe, good morning. Welcome to the show.